So let's talk for a minute about good reasons to make changes in portfolios and maybe some not so good reasons to make changes in portfolios. Now, obviously, some good reasons to make changes in portfolios or adjust our investments is maybe our risk profile has changed. Maybe we've decided for whatever reason we want to take less risk or more risk. We'd probably make some adjustments in the portfolio. Let's assume that maybe we're going to retire in the next 1 to 5 years. Probably good reason to start making some adjustments in the portfolio. Or maybe we've had some really good profits in some individual stocks or other investments, and we're just scraping some icing off of the top of the cake, setting some profits aside in a good market to have some money, some powder dry in the keg to maybe invest at an opportune time, as well as many other reasons to adjust portfolios and make changes. But more times than not, there are some reasons or some changes to portfolio that maybe aren't warranted and may lead to regret later. And that is panicking over the news, what's going on in the world around us, analysts and experts that are feeding us all kinds of information. That's probably not the best reasons to make decisions on changing portfolios and making wholesale changes with investments. Which leads me to one other topic, and that is on timing the market. In theory, timing the market seems like a really good idea and makes some sense. Unfortunately, it's very hard, if not impossible, to do consistently. And what I mean by impossible to do consistently, sure, you can get lucky and you can make a good educated guess and you can time the market maybe, but doing it consistently over one's investing lifetime is very difficult, if not impossible. And what an example of that basically would be, in order to time the market and make money month after month, year after year, decade after decade, you've got to not only be right on getting out of the market somewhere near the peak or out of your investments, then you've got to be right a second time to enter back into the market at an opportune time, maybe when the market's down. That's a whole lot tougher than getting out of the market. The hardest part about timing the market, if you've ever tried, is getting back into the market at the right time, because emotions are running high, doomsday is all around us, analysts are negative, and pulling the trigger on getting back into investments is almost impossible to do because our emotions are telling us that it's only going to get worse, even though it may be an opportune time to buy. So very hard to get back in. But beyond those two considerations, it's also very difficult to consistently time the market, because in any given year, year after year after year, we're going to have 5% corrections, 10% corrections, 20% corrections, 30% corrections, and so forth and so on. So not only do you have to time it right to buy and to sell, but you've got to repeat that process possibly month after month or years after years after years if you're investing over a 20, 30, 40, 50 year investing lifetime. So again, it sounds very good in theory. We would all like to think that we could time the market. I would love to be able to do that. But the reality is I can't. And it's just very difficult and almost impossible to do. And so it's best to focus, like we do, on competent strategies, managers, paying attention to the risks that we're taking in the portfolio, adopting strategies that are beneficial for the long term, when possible, raising money and investing at opportune times. All of those things are prudent, but to time the market basically usually going to lead to regret.